You mentioned something earlier on about Spurs. You're about to go in on them a little bit.
Yes.
About Ange Postecoglou, you think their bubble's going to burst soon? You think
100%. 100%.
Why?
There's two people in this league that are overhyped, and that's Ange Postecoglou and Roberto De Zerbi. Now, as the football terrace and as YouTube content in general, we don't really care about non-top 6 clubs. So let's just put De Zerbi to the side for now. Let's talk about Ange. The overhype of Ange Postecoglou genuinely makes me sick. Like, I actually genuinely want to vomit. Like, it's just too much. It's just too much at this point. Every time in the press conference, they're doing all this loving, glazing of Ange Postecoglou. Oh my God, we got our Spurs back because we made 5 passes in a row. With all due respect with Tottenham Hotspur, first of all, I'm not even doing the banter thing. I will not respect you until you bring me some VVS, bring me some diamonds, bring me some titles, bring me some trophies, and that's when I'll respect you. Second of all, with Ange Postecoglou, who has he beaten? Brentford. Brentford draw. Man United, who we now found out later on in the season, everyone's fucking beating. So it's not that much of an accomplishment. With all due respect, they beat Sheffield United in the 99th minute of a footballing game, a normal footballing game. They beat Burnley, who everyone has been beating this season, and they robbed Liverpool. Why so much Ainge hype? I genuinely don't get it. There is genuinely zero reason for Ainge to be this hyped up. And he's once again, he's nominated for Manager of the Month. What are you nominated for Manager of the Month for? For what? For robbery? That's what you're nominated for Manager. He shouldn't be nominated for Manager of the Month. I don't even think they've done well this month to begin with. Last month, okay, you won against Man United when people thought United were going to be good, blah, blah, blah. But now, there's no need for him to even be nominated. I think this Ainge hype will die soon. And by December time, mark my words, bookmark it, clip it, which I'm sure Terry will do anyway. Mark my words, by December, Tottenham Hotspur will be outside the top 3. 100% they will be outside the top 3. And this Tottenham Hotspur hype is making me sick. You know why? Because they're one injury away from crisis. If James Maddison, God forbid, gets injured, because I will never wish injury on any football player. If James Maddison gets injured, Spurs are in the mud automatically. And if you want to talk without agendas, let's reverse the scenario. Imagine Spurs had 9 players and Liverpool had 11. That game ends 4-0, 5-0. So the fact that it ended 2-1 with a Matip own goal in the 95th minute tells you all you need to know about Tottenham Hotspur and the level that they're at. People can say I'm salty. No problem. In December, you will apologize when you go like, Hussam, you were right all along, as per usual, because I am a football guru. So I see this happening. I see this coming. I see this coming with Ange Postecoglou. I genuinely think he's getting overhyped right now. They're doing too much. And the question now becomes, why is there no pressure on Ange Postecoglou now? Isn't it, if they win this Saturday, they'll go top of the league, right? Am I making it up? I'm not making it up. Why aren't people saying Spurs are in a title race? If United were in this position, we'd be asking Terry if he's in a title race. If Chelsea was in this position, I'd be asking the same of Chelsea fans. Same with other clubs. So for me, I'm looking at Tottenham Hotspur now and I have different expectations of them. Isn't Ainge the Messiah? Isn't all this Ainge ball crap that you couldn't score a goal against 9-man Liverpool, isn't it so amazing? Yalla, show me. Show me how amazing it is. Because now when it comes to this next run here after Luton Town, and because they've already played Sheffield United and Luton. Sheffield United, Burnley, and Luton. Those are 3 clubs they've played. Now when the tough run starts, let's see. Let's see Postecoglou against Man City. By the way, Klopp beat Postecoglou tactically because he nullified them. He's like, you can have your possession. We pressed in moments. We had the more dangerous opportunities. We nullified James Maddison. James Maddison was in our midfield's pocket before the sending offs. Like, James Maddison did fuck all that game until the sending off and until the whole thing changed. So now he has so much space to operate in. So for me, with Tottenham Hotspur, their hype is going to die down soon. And you will all witness it with your own eyes. And you'll come back to this video where you're all calling me salty. And you're going to realize I'm not being salty. I'm just being real. So yeah. Enjoy it, you guys. Enjoy it. Soon, this Ainge hype is dying. I promise you. Mark my words. Mark my words. There is no difference between him and Brendan Rodgers. You will wait and see now.
Cal here says, again, he's lying with a straight face. Incredible what agendas can do.
What am I lying about? Could you break down 9-man Liverpool? No. What next? Go on then.
Eddie says this is why people despise Liverpool fans, and I feel bad for the genuinely all right ones.
Eddie doesn't despise me because he's in my chat all the time. So he's probably responding to someone in the chat or something. But listen, you could say all right ones all you want with Spurs. They are a pathetic club. I'm not lying. So we'll see soon. When this Ainge hype dies down, you will remember Hussam told you first. That's all I'm saying.
This is a Sam. Will you shave your hair if Spurs are in the top 3 in December?
I cannot shave my hair in the winter because it's too cold over here. Imagine you want me to be bald in the winter. My head's gonna be so cold. Come on, man.
I support you, Terry. If any team gets robbed, Liverpool and Klopp should fight for the match to be replayed for other teams. Is what
Yeah, but Robert, now
here.
you're doing too much. This is the thing that I tried to explain to Terry. You cannot ask for that. Klopp cannot come out in a press conference and call out other games as mistakes. He cannot do that. With us, I'm saying the clubs should escalate. So now Liverpool escalated. Bring the other 19 clubs. Let's all escalate together. Apply pressure on PGMOL. Get better refereeing decisions. Get better technology. That's it.
If Liverpool replays the match versus Spurs, then every club now onwards should try and replay all matches. Yeah, I hear you that. And I know a few people in the comments saying Klopp didn't directly ask for a replay. Come on, let's not do semantics here. We knew exactly what he meant.
And by the way, try for a replay. Who's stopping you? If you get robbed against Brentford and 4 decisions go against you, and Ten Hag says, I want a replay, I don't give a fuck. Okay, Ten Hag says I want a replay. So what? Let him say that. Like, I'm not supposed to be pissed off. If you get robbed and your manager asks for a replay, let him ask for a replay. Genuinely couldn't give a fuck. Like, no problem.
This says refs should be mic'd up like rugby. I agree. And we'll be coming to it as and when we need it. Other teams have had more VAR errors than Liverpool.
Oh, here we go. Abel, I could tell you're a Man United fan, honestly.
Anne said he wouldn't let Liverpool score if he knew. Do you mean wouldn't or would have? Wouldn't or would have? Has he come out and said something about it? Yeah, Anne seems like a good guy. Probably would. Funny, you both make sense. Of course we do. Facts: United and Chelsea have better teams than Spurs, is what Chombe says 100%. Here.
By the way, that's why earlier on I said I felt bad for Ten Hag before we even got to this Ainge part. If Ainge had that many injuries as Ten Hag, this guy would be 15th right now. So let's not even do this.
This here says over what never talk about. You say Liverpool, they are victim mentality club.
German chicken wing. Speaking of Tottenham Hotspur, if the Sheikh bought Tottenham, you'd be a Spurs fan. So just be quiet, please.
Yeah, listen. It's such a can of worms. I hear what you're saying, and I get where you're coming from. Look, I think Spurs have been excellent so far this season, and I get the
excellent is an exaggeration, though. Tell me where have they been excellent? Go on.
Okay, let me dig deeper when I say I think they've been excellent. Their football has been excellent. So the way they've been moving the ball, the way they've been playing has been great. I agree with you. Some of the games that they have won, some of the results that they've had, I think there's been a little bit like the Man United game. The way afterwards, it was I was angry. So obviously I was slagging my team off. The way that game gets talked about now as if we got dominated for 90 minutes. We should have been 2-0 up plus at half time. Would have been a different game. They then dominated the second half. So that's what I'm saying. So the game against Man United could have gone either way if teams took their chances. Sheffield United is an interesting one. Last minute goal, but they dominated that game and they deserved to win it. There's no doubt. The Arsenal match, great performance, but was just a draw. The game against
could have been 4-0 down at halftime if Arsenal were more lethal.
I get that. The way I disagree with it when it comes to your game, yes, you stopped them from creating those chances, and yes, you had more shots until that red card. But it can be harder to play against 10 men, 9 men than it is against 11 in terms of opening a team up.
10 men, okay, but not 9 men.
Yeah, again, I understand, but you guys just sat behind the
ball.
ball.
Was our striker, like.
No, I understand where you're coming. I understand what you're coming from and where you're saying, but I feel like I do get you. The way Spurs, being discussed right now reminds me a little bit of what I said about VVD, Van Dijk 3 years ago, where I thought he was the best centre-back in the world, but was still being overhyped when certain groups of Liverpool fans were talking about him and people in the media like he was the greatest Premier League centre-back ever, like it weren't even debatable. I was like, yo, he's the best in the world right now, but you're overrating him. I think with Spurs, I think they've been excellent. I think they're a very good team. But the way I've heard
a debate back then, though, there was no debate. He was the best in the world as a centre back.
He was, yeah, that element I agreed with. But saying he's the best ever in the Prem, some saying one of the greatest centre backs of all time. I remember listening to those conversations and saying, look, you can be the best in the world and overrated at the same time. I feel that way with Tottenham right now. I think they've been excellent and I think they're value for where they are. But the way I've heard some pundits talk about them, the way I've heard some, not all their fans, by the way, some of their fans talk about them. And of course, Sava's level-headed. Alan's level-headed. Who was
Alan ain't
Jerome that comes
level-headed.
on?
Don't do it.
Loads of them are level-headed, but there are some that are sort of like
That guy
here,
that you
we're
had on the
doing
match
this.
reaction post Chelsea, that guy ain't level-headed. I don't know his name.
No, yeah, exactly. So there's some that are not equally. There's a lot of Arsenal fans said they were going to smash Spurs in the North London derby, but a lot of Spurs fans came on here and said they were going to smash Arsenal there. But yet that got forgotten with the draw, and that's me. I'm just trying to be balanced here. I think they've been very good, but we have to wait for them to suffer some injuries. We have to wait until the pressure it increases. As an example, there's lots of different trials and tribulations for them to face before I turn around and go guaranteed top 4. Right now, if they continue like this, they're going to make top 4. Before I start saying guarantee of top 4 title challenge, there's a lot more I need to see from them first before I go down
Okay,
that road.
and you want me to be honest? I'll be honest right now about Spurs. Let's look at objectively look at things. I know we're spending too much time on Spurs. They're not big enough for us to speak this much about them. But since the can of worms has been open, let's just open it all the way through. First game, Brentford 2-2 against Tottenham Hotspur. They beat Man United 2-0. They beat Bournemouth 2-0. But I just spoke about the Man United game. They lost to Fulham in the Carabao Cup second round. They conceded twice to Burnley in a 5-2 win. They beat Sheffield United in the last minute. They drew with Arsenal, acted like it's a win, and they robbed Liverpool. Now, after Luton Town, okay, you've got a run of Palace away, Chelsea at home, Wolves away, Villa at home, City away, West Ham, Newcastle. That run right there, if they come out of that run, then I can come up here and can go like, okay, Spurs are onto something. But right now, I ain't going to say shit positive about Spurs because they haven't earned it yet.
Spurs are saying
who have you earned it by beating? Burnley? You've earned it by
Spurs are-
beating Sheffield?
Spurs,
You've
hang
earned
on,
it by beating who?
Spurs fans here are saying they've had injuries. They've actually had like 9 injuries. They have had injuries.
Who are the injuries? Who?
But how many of, my question is, and this is a genuine question, how many have been important and integral first team players to your
Are you naming under 16 players and telling me you got injuries? Who's the injuries? Vicario starting in goal. Your right backs are there. Your 2 center backs are there. Your left back is there. Your whole midfield other than Bentancur is there. And your front line was there against us literally last game. Kulusevski, Son, Richarlison. Where's the injury, brother? Exactly. Thank you very much. There's difference. Terry can say we have injuries because he has no left back right now. He doesn't have Lisandro. That's realistic if he says no injury. There is no Wan-Bissaka, I believe. There is no like right back options other than Dallo. You know, fair enough if you say shit like that, but don't come up here and tell me I have injuries because of an under 21 player. Fuck Spurs anyway. They're gonna fall off soon. Mark my words.